Hooray! Coming at you from New Jersey, the capital of misery, and the place where metal forgot to die. This is Here Lies Metal, the podcast that brings you the origins, history, and culture of everything metal. Once again, I am Maledictus, and this is
Samantha. And
we shall be your overlords for today and all of eternity. Welcome. Yes, we've been doing these podcasts, I think, in a much more sporadic manner in our isolation. Is that true?
I mean, what is time anymore?
Doesn't matter. I don't know what day it is. Doesn't matter.
What is time?
What do you care? You're not watching it.
We're doing it. That's all that matters.
I think we have 90-something subscribers now.
90. Sounds good.
They've been nicer.
Really?
They keep commenting on the video about Pat O'Brien for some reason.
Oh.
Yeah.
What are they saying?
I just, just really,
like Cannibal Corpse.
Just like, yeah, skulls. It's not bad stuff, really. It's not,
You're like, get better, Pat.
Yeah, I think one guy said you're a liberal and I'm a conservative, and he was happy that he liked my opinion because I seemed like I was more in support of what Pat and Brian did and you weren't. That's what some person interpreted it as. It's not even, really.
I don't support people threatening their neighbors.
No, he shouldn't have thrown an old lady down. But he does
have an opinion on owning human skulls.
He could. Yeah, he didn't harvest them himself. I think. But if he wants flamethrowers and stuff, that's cool. I've got no problem with that. Okay. So what do we have for today?
We have the news.
News. That's all we ever have. We don't have anything useful for you anymore. This show has degraded. It used to be a sort of factual documentary.
This has always been the news show. This is always...
Yeah. But remember, I used to do, we used to do a podcast, on...
We could still do that.
We should. Because, maybe I could bring you some educational information. So, kind of.
There's nothing stopping you.
No, we could. I could do it now. Yeah, I should do that again. And you can't really, make fun of me on there. You can't just, throw your rude comments at me.
We could put them on YouTube.
Yeah, you can make a video version of them somehow. It's a lot of work, though. You saw how much work it took to make those two documentaries I put up into video. It took, weeks. So, probably if I didn't stare into space for, as much as I do, I probably would.
Maledictus spends all his time flying imaginary planes.
I wish I did that. I just stare into space most of the time. If I was actually doing that, that would be something productive. I don't even really do that.
I think they're equal.
Staring
into space and flying an imaginary plane.
But I wish I would do that more. I wish I would even do that more. Flying in flight simulators. But yeah. So we got some band reviews though. A couple of new releases in the past few weeks that are worth talking about.
Well, some of them are a little older, but you know what? Yeah. We're not on a schedule over here.
No one cares. Yeah.
So yeah, what's the first band?
What do we have here? Oh my God! Why are we doing?
Have you ever heard of this band?
Have you ever heard? You never heard of them? No, you've totally heard of them. Because they're everywhere, and I feel like these guys, in a lot of ways, to a lot of metalheads, I guess it's a mixed crowd, but I think most, the brutal metal guys, they consider these guys kind of like the Nickelback of metal, which I agree with. I had to see these guys.
I've only heard you say that.
Really? No one else has ever said that or compared them to a similar thing? Do
you feel don't talk about Trivium.
Really? Just avoid the subject?
They're not interesting.
You're not. They're definitely not. But for the record, I went to see I had to photograph Sabaton once, which was awesome. But they were opening for Trivium. But for some reason, Trivium didn't let any of us shoot because there was too many people in the pit. So they're just no one's shooting. You got to shoot from the VIP area, which is, too far, really, to so everyone just left. All the photographers are just fuck these guys, we're leaving. And I was like,
so you didn't see Trivium?
I left. I was like, everyone left, so I guess I'm not going to shoot these guys.
They were really good.
Yeah. Well, okay. So let's find out. So I listened to their new album, which is called
What the Dead Men Say.
What the Dead Men Say? Let's find out. It's right here. Let's see. It's not that important.
It's something like that. Scroll all the way down.
Oh, it's all the way down here. Look at all these albums these guys have.
They're grinding.
What the Dead Men Say.
I was right.
What the Dead Men Say. I should have.
I remember because that's one of the songs, and it's terrible.
It's very
and
deep.
they sing that song.
Okay.
They sing that line.
That was one of my least not favorite songs.
Really?
Yeah, one of my least not favorites. Doesn't mean I liked it. Is one of
you were
my
able
least
to identify songs you liked more than other songs.
Yes. Okay, because I listened to the album a couple of times. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Listen. I'm doing this for you out there. Okay. You guys don't want to do it. I am dying for your sins. Okay. I am Jesus maledictus, blasphemy. Okay. Trivium, as you know, they've been around for a while. They're from Florida, right? Led by Matt Heafy. Okay, so these guys are good musicians. I'll give you that. Think of them as a more commercialized, non-environmental Gojira, right? Like they have that kind of
more
Gojira-ness.
commercialized Gojira.
Yeah. I mean, Gojira's pretty
pretty
big.
commercialized.
Yeah, but they're respected in the metal world. Like I talk to people about Gojira and tell them how much I don't like them. People are like, "What are you talking about, bro? Like, Gojira." Like these are like people that are really into heavy stuff. No, yeah, Gojira's good, bro. What are you talking about? I just don't like Gojira. They're just boring to me. They're good.
I like Gojira better than Trivium.
Well, yeah, they're better than. They are less Nickelbacky than Trivium. Trivium just has that kind of. I mean, just look at here. Like, just look at they just kind of have that, bro.
Don't make fun of how they look,
bro.
That's not pertinent.
No, but they're like, bro, don't they? You know, like they don't seem like they're Florida guys. You know, but not in like a Pat O'Brien kind of way. You know, not in a corpse grinder kind of way. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I don't know what you're trying to say. I hate this band.
Okay, yes.
It's way too slick for me, first of all.
Slick? Is that the word we're looking at?
Slick is
what
the word.
What do you mean by slick? Explain
like
that.
The production is just
yeah.
It's, it has no self-awareness, which I require.
Well, I think bands in this basket of bands, like this is what I call WSOU music, right? Like they will play this on WSOU quite unapologetically. It's the sound isn't cutting edge metal, but it's in that sort of.
It's no longer cutting edge.
No, not anymore. Like 10 years ago it was, but it's in that like basket of things that young metalheads might like, right? I think it's for young people. Am I right? Like
this?
Yeah,
I mean, it used to be
young people.
It used to be, but I don't know if young people today would like it.
Yeah, right. They might not like those thrashers we saw.
No, they don't. They
wouldn't like this.
But they're weird. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
There's some weird tribe.
Oh, they're from Orlando. They're not from regular Florida. They're from Orlando. Orlando's where boy bands come from. Okay, and these guys are in a way kind of boy bandish. Not as bad as some like boy band. Like metal boy bands. They play a lot of that in WSU. These guys are kind of adjacent.
I mean,
they're better than that.
As you can see, they're labeled metalcore here. You objected to that.
Well, metalcore is a complicated term. I don't think people don't really understand. I think, but it's fine to use that
like you
label.
know it when you hear it.
Yeah,
I haven't listened to all of Trivium, but I wouldn't say metalcore necessarily pertains to what the Dead Men say. Dead Men say.
Yeah.
Dead Men.
Dead Men.
I wouldn't quite call it metalcore. There were some thrashy elements to it,
but
it was like very modern. It's
yeah, it's very
it's trying to bring thrash with a new
It's proggy too. They're good musicians.
Shiny twist on it.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's shiny. It's glittery.
That's why I said slick.
Shiny.
That's why I said slick, shiny.
Yeah.
Self-indulgent.
Production is going to be top notch. These guys aren't going to try to make it sound retro. They're not going to try to reduce the production quality as to be like ironic or something. Like they want to sound old. Like maybe some thrash band will try to sound old, or some doom band will try to sound old.
Why they're probably called metalcore is the vocals. I would say that clean vocal that comes in.
Yeah, yes, that kind of vocal. Yeah, he does that.
And
he's
to be fair, that is my least favorite part of this band.
His singing is really annoying. He's like a boy band
It's also
singer.
probably why they're as popular as they are, because that's the kind of stuff that actually makes it. So
yeah, I'm not sure who's really a Trivium fan. I don't think I ever really met a Trivium.
I'd like to meet one.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, if you're out there, comment down below.
I definitely want to hear if Trivium fans like the new album.
Yeah, comment down below if you like this. And, seriously, I'm not even like bashing on you guys. Like, tell me like what's up, because. Like I said, I didn't 100% hate this album as I thought I would going. I'm like, oh, Trivium. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, what did you like about it?
Some of the songs were kind of a little catchy.
In a guilty It's not hurting
way.
For catchy. That's the thing. Is like it's not guilty pleasure for me. It's just bad. Like I just don't like it. Just annoys me.
No, it's not. There's no substance behind it though.
No, I think there is substance.
What
you
do
were
you mean?
saying that they are good musicians. I think.
No, I mean lyrically, it's kind of just
okay,
like,
lyrically, obviously, no.
You know what I mean?
But, like, I don't think it's like objectively bad music.
No,
but it's
not.
it's in poor taste in my view.
This is in poor taste, son. I want to tell you, your new album is in poor taste. You did a good job with the musicianship.
I guess it's what you get from Florida of people. People about this age, and I think they're my age.
Florida's very strange place. There's flamethrowers there, there's skulls, and there's also Trivium. And Disneyland.
Okay.
Disneyland, Trivium.
Trivium, folks. I don't know why we talked about them, but...
And the death metal guys, they're not far from here. They're just a little bit to the west. Or Tampa's a little bit to the west of Orlando. It's not a far drive. I've been there. But, so, yeah. Anyway, you guys comment down below whatever you think. But let's move on to the next band. This, from Denver, Colorado, 1 mile up. I think maybe when you're 1 mile up, the air is different, so it affects the way you think.
There's some shit going on in Denver.
Yeah, when I landed there, I got a headache because there's less air. So anyway, Havok is from Denver, Colorado, and they are a modern day thrash band. They came in that big thrash revival of many, many years ago. They came along with that. They've been making albums since the early 2000s, and they're definitely not they're not a crossover thrash band. They're not in the same league as, say, Power Trip or Iron Reagan. They're not street thrash.
Well, you should compare them to contemporaries like Municipal Waste or Toxic Holocaust.
Well, Toxic Holocaust is kind of going for that street, like that very...
he's metal punk.
Grindcore.
He's thrash metal punk.
Yeah, he's going for that grindy kind of, purposefully...
He's not grindcore. But.
No, not grindcore. I mean, but a sort of a grindhouse kind of street sound. Whereas
in Municipal Waste, they were more of a thrash band.
Yeah.
They're like kind of sneakers thrash.
Yeah, that was more of like an anthraxy street thing, though.
Yes.
These guys are trying to... They're striving... And this is cool that they're doing this. I think this is really cool. They're striving for like a Metallica Megadeth sound.
Oh, yeah,
they're
100%.
Striving for the mansion thrash. And they're not in any way
mansion
huge.
Thrash, yes.
I call it mansion thrash.
I think that's a good term, yeah.
Mansion thrash. People, thrashers, former thrashers that are highly successful these days, and that, live in mansions. Their new album... called V5. V5? I don't know.
It's their 5th album, so...
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
We can go with 5.
I like it. It starts the first track on 5, Post-Truth Era. It comes in like Blackened from Metallica. Kind of does that thing, and it has that beat that comes, though you can hear the bass, though. I'm pretty sure you can kind of hear
There's
the bass.
Definitely bass on this album.
Yeah, it's a very Megadeth-y kind of bass. It's a very Dave Ellefson kind of bass. Very higher treble, which is cool. That's the thrash sound. That's what you're supposed to sound like. I like this album a lot. It reminds me of Megadeth. It reminds me of late 80s Megadeth and Metallica, but though maybe with a more like Bobby Blitz kind of vocals. I think the vocals are a little more like, That's what I think.
Yeah, I don't enjoy this style of thrash as much as you, I think.
I enjoy that somebody's doing it and they're not trying to like be like streety. Like they're trying to be like, hey, this is like, high level. This is like early 90s, like height thrash. It's peak thrash. Peak thrash. Back when thrash wasn't new anymore. Back when thrash was about to crash.
Yeah. Okay. So it's
peak thrash.
It's not the proto thrash.
No, it's peak thrash, which is cool.
The basic thrash.
I'm glad someo's doing that. That's
Someone
cool.
dares.
Yeah. Peak thrash. The late 80s, early 90s when thrash was like big. It was on MTV and stuff. It was it was big. It was playing arenas. Opening for like Ozzy and stuff, things like that. It was big. It was pretty big. Pretty Monsters of Rock tour. Or things like that.
Yeah, I this album is listenable for me.
It's good.
I find the lyrics kind of cringy some of the time.
yeah, they're kind of silly. Yeah, they're silly.
But like you compare it to Megadeth, Dave's lyrics are always very clever.
Yeah, Dave's are very political. They're
they're political, but they were like good.
Even Metallica, Justice for All, the lyrics are good.
And Metallica's not as smart, but they were never like, oh, like what?
Metallica, Justice for All, that had a good lyrical content. I gotta say, those lyrics were well done. If they weren't like Saint Anger. They were like good lyrics. I think. Okay.
I know that this band, they were kind of their last album, Conformicide.
Yes.
They were pretty they're pretty much chuds on that album.
Yeah.
Like anti PC
But they were just trying to be like cavemen. Yeah.
Like not like cavemen, but trying to be like super libertarian, right? Like
okay. Oh, they were like.
So they had kind of a reputation coming from that.
They were just being kind of pepe.
They definitely dialed it back for this album. Like this is more just kind of general, like wake up everyone,
wake up sheeple.
Don't let them do it. Like that's what I feel like this album's about. Like don't let them do something.
Don't let them put microchips in you.
Controlling you.
Look at this. This is like a guy, but he's turning into mushrooms and stuff, and his skeleton's coming out of his arm, and then his holes in his head.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm politically extreme myself, but this just is not very intelligent.
Yeah, it's just that you just go all over the place. They're not really. There's no direction in their extremity. I wonder if the guy who did the Paul Bearer album did this cover. I wonder.
I don't like this album either. I don't like the cover.
I don't like the cover. It's gross.
It's off-putting.
Gross. They couldn't get Ed Repka to do their album cover. They should have just went for Ed. No, Ed Repka.
What does it mean?
Ed Repka's not serious. His album covers are kind of funny, and these guys are trying to be serious with this. You know, there's no like Ed Repka always has like the subject looking at you, kind of like, ha. You know, this is just like, I'm turning into a mushroom.
All right. Well, not to shit on this album too much. It's passable. It's fine. It was better than the New Testament.
Yeah. I like the street sound better, though. Yeah. I like an album from Iron Reagan. I like an album from Power Trip better. You know.
Maybe we'll get one this year.
Yeah. You know, I prefer that over this. But I'm cool. I was like, cool. Somebody's doing that, though. Somebody has the balls to do that. That was cool. Okay, next. Natur.
Nature?
Are they going to call it Nature with that big blasphemistic upside down cross?
I've got the shirt. I'm repping.
There you go.
Nature here today.
Nature. Anniversary present.
Someone got this for me.
Somebody got it for her. So look at these guys. These guys look like older guys. They're from Brooklyn, New York. You figure like they're from Brooklyn to be like these younger, like hip guys, but they seem like they've been around.
No, they've been around for like almost 10 years.
Yeah, so they're
they haven't released a lot, but
but they've probably been playing.
They've been doing stuff. Existing.
Natur.
But
so the new album, Afternoon Nightmare. Is that like Afternoon Delight? Afternoon Delight. Afternoon.
I did think of that too.
Afternoon Nightmare. Afternoon Nightmare. So this is, what do you want to call this?
This is a traditional heavy metal band.
New wave British heavy metal, but not from Britain and not from the late 1979.
It's called the new wave of traditional heavy metal.
Whatever.
It's called the new wave of the new wave of traditional heavy metal.
It's new old wave, new unreasonable un-British heavy metal. That's what it is. Their label is called Blasphemy. Lyrical themes are
like blasphemy, but phlegm.
Yeah, blasphemy. These guys, they're a very small band, you know. And when I look at these things, when I listen to them, they sound like such a big band because they're going for that Angel Witch sound, which is cool. Like they do
a good job.
Mimicking Angel Witch, even vocally almost, you know, Diamond Head a little bit, you know, Merciful Fate. Like they're doing that, you know, new wave British heavy metal, like that pre-thrash era music, which is wonderful. You know, a lot of people have been doing that recently, but these guys are doing it well, and you know, they deserve a lot more credit for doing it. Yeah, check these guys out. Check this, you know, if you want something new, if you're angry that, you know, too many bands sound like Trivium, well, then listen to this, okay? Because this is what's cool and what's going on.
To be fair, there are a lot of traditional heavy metal bands out right now, but
tons.
We're preaching this one because this one is good.
What is their Spotify?
Small. Give me a moment.
Yeah. Let's get that on these guys real quick. We obviously don't have to do it for Trivium, or Havok. Havok has a pretty big presence. But this is like a basement band. These guys aren't very big at all.
Oh, we're at 728.
728. That's very small.
We're under 1,000, but we're not under 100.
Not under 100. We've had some under 100s. We've had some under 100s, but that's small though. Like Havok is probably what? Like probably 10 to 100,000, right? Like I'm sure Havok is like probably like 100,000. They're pretty big. I mean, you know, for a band like that.
Yeah, they're almost 200K.
Oh yeah, 200K.
Wow.
Yeah. So big difference. So we're going down like, you know, we're literally going down the gradation of of level of popularity on this one today. So what else do we think about this album?
It was good. I think I liked their first album a little better.
Yeah, first time they have 2 albums.
But it is what it is.
They have a guy in the band called the Mexecutioner.
If you like traditional heavy metal,
they also have a Dino Destroyer, or is he Dino Destroyer? Hey, Dino Destroyer or Dino Destroyer. Either way, it's cool.
Check it out. I mean, it's not breaking any new ground, but it if you want this is what you want. It's kind of that thing. Mm-hmm. It sounds old, sounds genuine.
Mm-hmm. It has an organ in it, like a scary organ. There's a lot of dissonance in the album. I know there's a lot of dissonance. Like it's like a lot of like kind of solos are like dissonant. Maybe they're doing that on purpose. Maybe it was a mistake. Maybe they just didn't record it well. I don't know. Either way, it's okay.
Anyway,
that's my
support
observation.
These guys. I thought it was funny because before everything got canceled, they announced a world tour. World tour. But they were playing one show in Brooklyn, and then they were going to play like 3 shows in Europe. And
that's the world.
That was their world tour.
That's the known world.
But then they had to say world tour was canceled.
Everyone's world tour is canceled forever.
But this was like, look, they haven't had an album since 2012. It's a big deal.
Yeah, so they've been kind of sitting around, like they haven't been pushing
They're working their regular jobs.
They haven't been pushing it. Yeah, they see people like this. I respect them more because they have a regular. They're not like, yeah, I'm a rock star. It's like, no, they work at fucking Starbucks probably. Maybe it was an IT guy, but you can't really like go into like an office job really, but looking like this for the most part, a traditional office job. I mean, they could be the IT guy though, right?
Yeah, we know an IT guy like that.
Yeah, we know an IT guy like that. He's a big fan of the show. Hey, Chase, we're watching you. Congratulations, Chase. He's about to have a baby. So.
Final review.
Final review. We have. Okay, so you never heard of these guys. Never heard of these guys. But we've talked about these guys before. Dutchguts is a very local phenomenon, and they kind of run a scene around here. Their lead singer owns a famous night spots, which I've spoke about before because I'm very concerned about the safety. I mean, obviously it's closed right now, so there's no people potentially getting harmed, but it's in a very hip, nice neighborhood. It's in the hippest part of the hippest neighborhood.
Not hip, I would say.
Wealthy, yeah.
Bougie,
very bougie, like very bougie neighborhood. But however, it's in a basement underneath a restaurant, which he might own too. I don't even know. I don't want to.
Let's not speculate.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate. I don't know enough about this guy.
We don't know what's going on.
I hear little bitty
All
rumors.
I know is that there is a scary dungeon venue in the middle of town.
What is it called? We've mentioned it before.
The Meat Locker.
Meat Locker. And I think it's irony because I think he's a big vegan. I think that's true.
He looks like a vegan.
Yeah, comment down below if that's true.
But yeah. On to Dutchguts, though. They released their second album.
Second album
entitled 10 Years of Neglect. Here we have it here. It's very beautiful.
Maybe it took them 10 years to make it. They don't have a Metal Archives. I have a Metal Archives thing from my band 20 years ago, but these guys don't have one. Why?
I should see if they're in the queue. They're definitely metal. They're 100% metal.
Yeah, totally legit.
They're I would say sludge in the I Hate God vein.
It's sludge in like hardcore.
Yes, it's got hardcore elements. So like it's sludge that picks up and then gets sludgy. Obviously, there's a lot of weed stuff going on here. It's got some very stoner riffs on it. And it's pretty good,
Yeah, it's like I Hate God and like Discharge and like it's like it's like if those two bands like had a kid or something. It's really it's good though. It's consistent with their other releases. Like, they're pretty consistent. They're not really changing their sound.
I mean, I feel like I knew a lot of these songs just from the times we've seen them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they've strayed familiar because we've seen them a couple of times.
Sure. Yeah, we've seen them, I think, like 4 times.
Anytime there's like a major show of a band we might like, likely this guy is promoting the show and he will open for them.
We've seen them open for Crowbar.
Mm-hmm.
They open for Higher on Fire. They open for Pentagram.
Yep, and it was because of him that Pentagram got to play, because Pentagram was supposed to play a different club, but for some reason it was canceled. And this guy, it was canceled
because he didn't sell tickets.
Is that why?
Apparently. Well, the thing about the Meat Locker is they don't sell tickets in advance. So like when this guy organizes a show,
right?
Okay, I'm speculating, but we'll speculate here. Like all those people that come, like they don't buy tickets in advance, and so the owner of this other venue where they're going to have Pentagram, which is bigger than the Meat Locker, was freaked out that tickets weren't selling.
Oh, so he canceled it.
They very might well have filled up that club, but
Yeah, see,
so many people waiting for payday to go buy their ticket. Okay.
The thing about the Meat Locker is he has a fan base that will just go there. I think like maybe they don't even know or care who Pentagram is, but they will go.
They like Pentagram.
There were definitely some Pentagram fans there, like that were there. Like there were like some Pentagram nerds that did not want to be bothered. Like people kept hitting them and they were getting very angry because they wanted to see Pentagram. You know, like I haven't seen, you know, and there was some people just, you know, causing a ruckus and like there was definitely some conflicts going on between these two types of people.
I feel like I've seen that at every show I've been in the Meat Locker.
Like nerds like that want to see that band.
Yeah, people who are there for the band, they're like, what the fuck,
I want to see
guys?
Pentagram. Yeah, like
and they always leave the front, but
yeah, there was a guy like in front of us with his girlfriend. The people came crashing into him. He was getting angry. He was like, "What's wrong with you, Pentagram?" You know, like he was definitely like a real Pentagram fan. You know, like a nerd, and he wasn't happy with the people that were ruining his experience.
Anyway, this is a good album. Good job, guys.
Yeah, it's good. It's consistent. And the recording quality is very good for a band that because it says here, look, it says here, recorded in live. So they just did tracks. Oh, wow. Imagine that. That they're a tight band, believe it or not, for a bunch of fucking crackheads. You know, as a joke, guys. I don't mean you're really crackheads. Recorded in a day and a half. Yeah, so you can get a shirt and a record for $20. And yeah, so check this out. Here's your Bandcamp right there. So look them up on Bandcamp and check this out. These guys deserve it. They work hard. You know, so these guys they're local, local scene promoters. To say more than a band, but
they are the scene.
They are a scene. They're creating.
I mean, there's a number of Jersey metal bands, but I think these guys are my favorite.
These guys are doing a lot for this kind of music because this kind of music never really went too far recently around here. So these guys are definitely encouraging bands to come to these local clubs, bands that we might like, and he's doing it. Like if anyone's gonna do it, everyone's gonna promote. It's gonna be Dave from this band. He's gonna make bands that we like come. Like last time we saw him, remember we saw him at the place we were married where he got I Hate God to play, and I'm pretty sure he was probably never allowed there again after that. That was a weird show because he had more people watching him than I Hate God.
Yeah.
All of his fans came out, but when I Hate God came on, it was weird, man, because no one dug it. It was weird. I've never seen anything like that. Like the real I Hate God fans I always see at St. Vitus, they came out from Brooklyn. But there was only like maybe 10 of them. And I recognize them all because I'm like, every time I've been to St. Vitus, like they've always come out. And, but like the locals didn't really like come out for I Hate God. I don't know. It's not the kind of club for that though. It's more of an indie kind of place. White Eagle Hall. But anyway.
All right, that concludes.
That's our reviews.
The music review hour. Check
out those bands. They're all, even Trivium if you want. Comment down below if you like Trivium. Educate me. All right, now for the news. Dun, 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 dun. What's going on in the world?
We are beginning with the unfortunate obituary section.
A funeral. Kraftwerk co-founder Florian Scheider dead at 73. Now, as you know, obviously this isn't metal, but Kraftwerk I think is a major influence on many metal bands, and all around. Kraftwerk is just one of the first really synthy kind of bands. Everyone, they just deserve a lot of respect. So Florian Schneider is co-founder of the highly influential German group Kraftwerk, classified at 73 years old. The band was formed in 1970 alongside Ralf Hütter, the two longest-serving members. Kraftwerk largely credited with the primary creative responsible records such as Autobahn and Trans-Europe Express. So rest in peace, Florian Schneider. This was a good band. Check out, you should check out Kraftwerk. They're definitely just a major influence in all music. Come today, just in making music, not with guitars. They are, obviously a major influence in a lot of your industrial metal and things like Rammstein and Nine Inch Nails and shit like that. So yeah, check it out. Just shout out to Florian, okay? And of course, you probably heard Little Richard. What the fuck? There he is. What the hell? Okay. Little Richard dead at 87. Man, that guy lived a long life. So, Little Richard obviously was an inspiration to a lot of rock people and a lot of metal people. Lemmy, he was Lemmy's favorite musician. As Lemmy once said about him, he was like, He's like, there's no one more badass than Little Richard. He was a gay black man from Georgia playing rock music. He's like, there's nothing fucking more badass than that. He's like, if you could, he's like, if that's not tough, I don't know what is. Okay, and Lemmy's right. You know, Lemmy was absolutely just a huge fan of this guy. So, yeah, he obviously was just a major influence on so much music. I heard once that Jimi Hendrix played guitar for him, but he threw Jimi Hendrix out because Jimi Hendrix was too, like, you know, flamboyant. So he's like, get the fuck out of my band, motherfucker.
It's like, I'm the one people look at here.
He's like, I'm the rock star. Get the fuck out of here. So, yeah. So, you know, Little Richard, the guy lived a long time. 87 years old. I mean, he did it. Okay. So, you know, obviously there's many reactions all over the world. Little Richard died. Yeah, he was old, so I don't think he died of like the plague or anything. He was very old. So yeah, rest in peace, Little Richard. Okay, we got a shout out to Little Richard. Little Richard. All right. Okay, so let's get into the news now. And okay, so in this strange times we're living at, moshing and crowd surfing will be prohibited when gigs resume, according to this article from Krang. And
well, there was a report published by the Event Safety Alliance Reopening Guide, which is a collective work by event industry professionals. So they've all gotten together to tell us how this is going to go down, and saying patrons cannot stand at the front of the stage. I don't know where they'll stand, just not at the front.
We're the two people that like to stand up front. We'll get there early so we could be up front and gawk at the guy, whoever we're there to see, creepily.
Moshing and crowd surfing are violations of violations of social distancing.
I have a question, teacher. So if people are all in a packed room together, and then maybe they'll limit numbers, I don't know. But like, what's the difference between climbing all over each other?
Well, I would think like, so if we're actually social distancing, so you're standing
if you are
6 feet apart from everybody at the concert, you're going to be wearing a mask. So obviously you can't mosh,
right? Because you might rip
because then you're within 6 feet of the other person.
Okay.
And the mask might come off.
It's no point in doing this. There's no point in doing this. Okay. There's no point in having these concerts.
And mentioning there might be high conspicuity gaff tape on the floor to denote where you can stand in relation to each other. And, you know, people monitoring you, more staff monitoring you.
It's not going to work.
But the point they were making that this was going to be a long-standing change and that people would just get used to it like they got used to metal detectors.
Just got used to the Patriot
after
Act.
9/11.
After they took your rights away. Yeah.
So that's what they're saying, is that this is just going to be the new normal for, I guess, probably obviously big shows, because you don't have metal detectors at small shows anyway. So
no, especially in the meat locker.
You know, you're going to meat locker. Do not go with the meat
or
locker.
Or fire detectors, or any
5 years.
Any kind of other safety devices.
So this is, you know, this is your arena shows. This is your big shows,
okay.
Where you would walk through a metal detector and have your wallet chain taken away.
Yeah.
Well, now they're gonna make sure you have a mask.
Well, at smaller shows, say like, or medium-sized shows, they will definitely wand you. They don't have a metal detector, but they'll wand you and they'll frisk
Yeah, at a
you.
medium show, they might look. They'll look through my bag. I guess I don't get frisked.
Yeah, like say
you get frisked.
Yeah, if you go to Irving Plaza, yeah. Ever since that shooting happened at the Paris thing, yeah, they'll frisk you.
I don't get frisked.
Really?
Maybe I get frisked.
Or if you go to Starland Bar, like a place like Starland Ballroom, yeah.
They look through my bag.
Yeah,
and I just think they're looking for drugs.
Well, yeah, that too. No, they're definitely doing that. They don't want you to have a good time at the show, for God's sakes. No, I've been like, when I bring my camera, they will check that, like just see if there's anything else in there. You know, yeah, no, they definitely, and they wand me all the time. You know, not at a place like that place where we saw Midnight. Like at that place, obviously, you won't get anything like that.
That's too small. St. Vitus is too small.
Yeah, or St. Vitus, yeah. But if you go to, if you go to Irving or Starland or something like that, Webster Hall, you know, yeah, they will definitely have like the medium-sized security. You know, and they wallet, and a lot of them no wallet. Like Starland, no wallet.
All of this is a fantasy land, because they can make you wear a mask. That's fine. They could even, you know, strictly try to enforce no moshing, but no standing near each other and no standing at the front. That's not happening.
And that's not going to work. So,
like,
yeah.
How are they even going to do it?
No, yeah, just don't bother.
Are you going to kick someone out if they walk by somebody? Like,
yeah, just
well, if you're so excited to see your favorite band and then you go up to the front of the stage and they're like, get out.
Yeah, this is just wishful thinking. We can't have shows like this. Just don't have the shows then. Just have them on TV. Just live broadcast them. Why don't we just do that? Okay, why don't we just do that if we're gonna do this?
I mean, the venue would have to be half capacity at most.
Yeah, which is you can sell this many tickets. Bands don't make shit.
Is that even profitable?
No, bands don't make shit if the place is full. Okay, like most bands don't get fucked over anyway.
No one's gonna tour if this is the way things are.
And that means they sell way less merch. So like yeah, that's what they need. They need to sell their merch. So like no, there's no point in doing this unless there's a vaccine. There's a vaccine, everyone, or the thing goes away, whatever. After years, yeah, whatever. Then you could when things get like to literally back to normal, then you could do this. You can't just like, well, the thing is still on. But like, all right, we're gonna do shows. We're gonna do it this way. Just don't have shows. We just can't have shows. It's. I think it's gonna cost bands more just move around and stuff, go from here to there, to these half-empty places, and then not sell as much merch. It's not gonna work. There's no point in doing this. There's no point. There's no point. Okay.
Well, a young man in Denmark has a solution.
Oh, yeah. This guy. Okay.
His name is Mads Langer.
Mads
Langer.
Yeah.
In Aarhus, Denmark. He's a singer-songwriter. He decided to have a drive-in concert.
How did that go?
It went okay. He put a picture up here.
Okay, let's see. Is that really him? I thought that was photoshopped. I obviously thought that. I seriously thought that was
real.
Wow, I seriously thought that was photoshopped. He had a lot of people showing up for his.
Yeah, he pulled it together. So the way this functioned was fans are able to listen to the concert via short-range FM radio station, just like at a drive-in. And they had Zoom was integrated somehow. So you could, I guess, get a good look at them from your car. And this sounds fucking miserable to me. What about you?
You're going to need a lot of space for this, first of all.
Yeah.
Could they mosh? Could they have a demolition derby? No, that joke.
That was all the memes.
That joke has been used before.
I've seen that meme already.
I was doing that just to point out that everyone said that already. Okay, I wasn't thinking that was original by me. But I like the idea of drive-in convenience for things like movies would be cool and stuff. But this isn't realistic around like where are we gonna? You need like a vast amount of space to be able to do this. Obviously, occupancy would be down. But they're gonna charge. They're gonna charge you for the car for everyone in the car. Like, you can hide somebody in the trunk like they used to do. I don't know. It just seemed like.
I mean, this is probably as profitable as these socially distant concerts.
Yeah, and you get all these people driving in the traffic jam.
Probably less, because that's probably like a quarter capacity for that.
Yeah, obviously.
Unless I don't know if all those cars are full.
But yeah, you'd have to marshal all these cars out of here when the concert's over. That would be a giant clusterfuck. Yeah, I don't know. It's just. These things, you have to just wait for things to get back to normal to have these concerts again. I mean, people aren't gonna do this forever. I mean, people are eventually gonna like start touching each other again. The plague isn't forever, So, these things will be. Think of it as wartime, World War II. You couldn't get like bread and stuff. You had to give that for the soldiers. Things like that. You couldn't get meat and stuff. So I think it's the same way. It's like World War II, and then you're not gonna, instead you're gonna, you're just not gonna have concerts. So it's better. You're just not gonna have. Well, maybe it isn't better. You're not going to have concerts, okay? Like, this is one thing. This is like the last thing we're going to get back. This is absolutely the last thing we're going to get back, without a doubt. Like, you're going to get movie theaters before you get this shit back, okay? So, I mean, people are already on fucking airplanes, so I don't know. It's like the most disease-spreading potential in the world. Always has been, but, that's fine, though. So, yeah. So that's more theories on how to get music back together. But, I don't know. I'm not for it. Yeah.
Nope. Moving on.
So we got here. So, as we talked about, we've been talking about this for a while. The whole entire the Revenge of the Bay, whatever the fuck the tour was called.
Bay Area Strikes Back.
Bay Area Strikes Back.
So I think it was like that.
Yeah. And
anyway, they all got sick.
Pretty much everyone. And by the way, we saw Murder in Death Row.
It was Testament, Exodus, Death Angel.
Yeah, three of the most very well-known bands from the Bay Area. But we saw Murder in Death Row. I highly recommend renting that on
Do
Amazon.
you?
Yeah,
I thought we said we learned nothing from it.
No, you're not going to learn anything from it, but you'll see a lot of familiar faces just talking about their experiences.
They got James on there.
They
got Lars, of course.
It's very Metallica-centric.
Yes.
More than I thought it would be.
Very Exodus-centric as well.
Yeah, very Exodus-centric.
It makes it seem like Death Angel barely existed, which, I mean, they are definitely less of a big deal, but...
Yeah, they were like a third gen thrash band from that area. But
it was mostly about Metallica and Exodus.
Yeah, not even a lot about Megadeth. Not a huge amount of Megadeth.
You consider Megadeth Bay Area?
No, they're from Los Angeles.
Exactly.
But they mentioned Slayer. They give Slayer.
Dave went there. He went to the Bay Area.
Yeah, they gave Slayer a mention too. Because obviously those bands.
Yeah, it was a really weird documentary. I felt like because it did mention like Anthrax and it touched on all the big four, but it was mainly about Metallica but it's like they talked about Slayer more than they talked about other Bay Area thrash bands, and it did not talk about very many small Bay Area. And
Slayer's not even
bands.
a Bay Area thrash band from Los Angeles.
It mentioned this venue they all played in a lot, but it's like from the way they talked about it, they made it seem like Exodus was playing there every night, and that was the scene was Exodus playing. This venue.
Never heard of that venue before. That
I'm sure it wasn't important to the scene.
Yeah.
I imagine there was another venue. They probably
I've never heard of that one.
And they talked about this weird group of people called the Slay Team. Who
that was interesting.
Fight posers. That was pretty interesting.
They also mentioned the New Jersey
Metal Militia. Well, that's because they were talking about Metallica.
Yeah.
It's like, but I don't know. I feel like the documentary should have focused more on the actual scene there and not just Exodus's small group of friends.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Which, I mean, I'm sure that was a big part of the scene, but like they barely mentioned Death Angel.
Yeah, it was more about it.
They mentioned Possessed a little bit.
More than I thought they would.
But I wanted to learn more about, the smaller end of the scene, but obviously this wasn't that kind of documentary.
Yeah, there's a much better documentary available on YouTube. Also, even Banger stuff on it is kind of more useful. Anyway, you'll see that. You'll like it.
Anyway, all these Bay Area guys went to Europe together and almost died multiple times in multiple ways. They almost drowned, and they all got COVID-19.
Yes.
And
nothing went well.
Will Carroll, he was
a drummer for Death Angel.
Yes, a drummer for Death Angel. He was actually on a ventilator in a coma, and it looked really bad. Yeah, but he made it.
Yeah, we think he was.
We're just recapping, So.
So Chuck Billy is saying, this is Chuck Billy, the interviewing Chuck Billy for Decibel. And near the end of the tour, a couple of the guys were really sick and must have caught it with them the last 3 nights, and we felt terrible. But what this article is basically about is Chuck Billy's kind of, in a way, kind of calling out Will Carroll for, maybe potentially spreading it to everyone, but there's really no, proof of that.
Well, in interviews after, Will Carroll mentions when he started to feel sick, which was in Europe.
Yeah.
And Chuck Billy's saying, when he started to feel sick, he should have isolated himself, and he didn't tell anybody that he was feeling sick.
How did he know he had that, though? Was everyone really sure what was going on?
That was very early, and
yeah, no one was sure what the hell was going on. And they were on tour,
and they probably didn't have, a lot of news, weren't paying attention to the news.
They didn't probably even know what it was.
Also, if he, went to the hospital in Europe, he would have never made it home.
Yeah.
He might be home now, assuming he survived.
Right, would have been stuck there.
He would have been able to go home, and it's can you imagine being on tour all this time, and you're an old man too?
Yeah, these guys are older.
You're sick as fuck, and you're just I just want to get back. Mm-hmm. Just get me on a plane back. I'll deal with this there.
And all these guys just got in a plane willy-nilly, no screening, anything. They spread it to probably everyone on that fucking plane and in the airport. This is just, why we have.
Yeah, we didn't have any travel bans then, but it was not long after they got back.
Yeah, but of course, there's probably evidence this thing has been here since December.
Probably, so, yeah.
Very likely, very likely. Because if it started in China, there's something called airplanes, so it could be here the next day. It could literally be here the next day. Why couldn't it be?
But yeah, Chuck Billy's starting some shit here with Death Angel.
Yeah, he's just he's kind of just talking, but I think it's kind of a little bit unfair because
I mean. It depends on when you make the decision. This is just in March, which feels like a millennia ago.
Yeah, it is. And, it really is.
Back then, we were still at work and stuff.
Everyone was.
And I know myself, if I was in a foreign country and Death Angel's not, they're probably not millionaires, okay?
No, I think they're still working.
He doesn't want to get stuck in Europe.
Yeah, he doesn't have limitless money to,
And he wants to go home, and I can certainly that'd be a really, really selfless thing to do. It'd be like for the health. And again, he probably didn't even know that much about the illness then, because most people didn't. It'd be a really selfless thing to do, to be like, all right, I might have this disease. I'll stay here in Europe and go to the hospital
for
here.
Everyone in America. But but I agree. I think they didn't really know what was going on.
It was clearly not just Will Carroll having it as well. It seems like the whole whole tour had it.
Yeah, he's kind of implying that maybe they got it, in the airport. Maybe they got it like shaking hands, but most likely they got it from like, just being out there with fans, and it just,
Well, he says that they were isolated, like they didn't really meet fans. They were just among themselves.
Right, but then
so it's like someone in the crew got it maybe,
yeah,
and gave it to the band. Then it's like, and people, incubate it for different periods of time. So maybe they all got it at the same time, but Will got sicker first.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's really
Chuck Billy's just starting some shit here.
Yeah, there's really no point. It's completely not fair to just blame anyone. Because like I said, no one knew what was going on back then, and it was kind of just inevitable. Just being, the tour just cursed anyway. So, anyway, you almost died in the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and then you got this, and it's just, it just wasn't meant to be. So yeah, but make it like the old days, guys. San Francisco Bay Area, everyone, unity, everyone's all friendly with each other. No one talking shit. But everyone's okay now over there. Because, everyone got it. Like, Gary Holt, Will Carroll, Chuck Billy, everyone, Chuck Billy's wife. Everyone had this. I don't know if Alex Skolnick had it. Alex Skolnick didn't mention it.
I haven't heard that. So maybe.
Yeah, he's like, I'm immune.
It's safe to say they all were infected because you can have it and not have symptoms.
Right, but he just didn't have symptoms, sure.
So he was fine.
He seems like a healthier guy than the rest of these
healthy.
guys.
He only has that gray streak.
Yeah, he's got that gray. I would like one of those. How do you get that?
I'm sure he manufactures.
Really?
Them.
Can I do that? Maybe.
Well, he probably is much more gray, but he dyes the rest of it black.
Yeah.
And it just maintains the streak.
I thought that happens naturally. Like it just. You just get like a gray streak here.
I don't know.
It makes you look like a composer, like like Beethoven or something. Like I think in my old age I should go for that like composer look. Like, haha, I'm a crazy composer.
Well, when your hair starts going significantly...
It is significantly gray.
White and gray, you can maintain a streak and dye the rest of it.
Yeah, maybe I could do that. Well, my hair still is brown, but, it's turning gray. Like, if I cut my hair, you'd see a lot more gray. It would definitely come out more. But, like, imagine if my hair was all gray.
I'm sure we'll get there.
Yeah, if my hair was all gray, then I would just look like really like some old...
You look like Bob from Twin Peaks.
Yeah, right? I'd look like, well, that's kind of cool. I could wear all denim. Yeah, I'd be like, ha 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 ha! I could be like Bob. I'll be Bob. That's a good look. Bob is a good look. I'm just afraid I'll look like some old metal boomer.
I mean that too. Isn't that what Bob looks like?
Yeah, kind of. But Bob's Bob though. He's I don't think he's even into metal. He doesn't even care. But the Bob look would be good. If I went for the Bob look, that would be good. That's good. That's good. We'll go for that. So anyway, everyone on this tour is okay now. And hopefully, they all, they're all okay, and we see them again in the future. Speaking of all this plague talk, as you know, like you might have heard, Donald Trump going into a Arizona factory where they make masks, and on the speakers, "Live and Let Die" was playing, so it seemed kind of appropriate in a lot of ways. Maybe people were like, "Oh, that's kind of fitting," based on the president's response or whatever. But Guns N' Roses is now making a T-shirt. Cashing in on this. I can't really give Guns N' Roses any credit for it. Like, oh, look, we can make money off this, which is kind of lame.
They're responding in how they know. They're responding with what they know.
What they know, which is,
monetized.
It might as well be Gene Simmons. What's the difference? And on the shirt it says "Live and Let Die" with code 45, implying that, 45, President 45, Donald Trump, as if he's like, like the reason for this or something. Axl must watch MSNBC. But yeah, it's kind of just like, yeah, okay, guys. First of all, does anyone in the metal media realize that this is not a Guns N' Roses song? Like, no one's like, oh, it was originally a Paul McCartney song from a soundtrack from a James Bond movie of the same title, "Live and Let Die," which I was watching the other day, and that movie does not hold up. I had to say I liked that movie for most of my life, and I watched it the other day. I was like, this does not hold up. It's a blaxploitation movie. It's fun, but it doesn't hold up. But Obviously Axl's been kind of taking. When Axl takes a shot at the Trump administration, it's not very effective. It's like, okay, Axl. It's not like, yeah, Axl. It's like, yeah, Axl. We know that already. It's like, yeah, we know that, Axl. You old boomer. Like, we know that.
He's just being a boomer.
Yeah, he is. He's just being a boomer about it. He's like, Trump. He's like, yeah, we know that. You don't have to. Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, obviously. These guys are kind of making. Do we have a picture of that? There it is. Live and Let Die. Well, that's a stupid shirt. I mean,
It's very Jamaican.
Yeah, right. It's kind of. Well, I think this is that. Well, they're using the Lose Your Illusion font from their famous double album from 1990. So they're kind of going with that. But yeah, there's very Jamaican colors though. Hello, man. But yeah, it's kind of a dumb. Like it's. They could have done better than that. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of just, it's kind of lame, guys. But by the way, Paul McCartney made the song. It's not Guns N' Roses. So everyone in the metal press.
They covered it.
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like
the cover was what was playing.
Yes, it was the cover, but they should just
mention
the fact that it's a Paul McCartney song. I'm convinced.
So you're upset that they're giving.
Yes, I'm convinced.
Guns N' Roses credit for Live and Let Die.
I'm convinced that nobody. I'm suspicious that none of these Loudwire or Metal Sucks or anyone else that has covered the story knows that it's a Paul McCartney song. I'm being a boomer about this, but I'm like, do you guys know that this is a Paul McCartney song? Such a boomer. Like, you guys, this is a Paul McCartney song. Guns N' Roses. God, young people don't know shit.
You're being like a 70-year-old boomer to like a 50-year-old boomer now.
Yeah.
You're like, because it's like the people who listen to Guns N' Roses, you're talking to them like.
Yeah, they're like old.
You guys never heard of Wings?
You guys never heard of Wings? When you were young and your heart was an open book, you used to say, live and let live. All right. I know you did. Okay. So yeah, Axl, you're lame.
I think this is 100 years old.
What's this? Okay, this is ridiculous.
More old people shit.
Yes. Christian, very devoutly Christian old people. Well, some of them. Maybe
just
Michael Sweet.
Michael Sweet.
I don't think L.A. Guns guy is. He's kind of a deviant.
So L.A. Guns guitarist Tracy Guns. What a coincidence that his name is the same.
Along with Michael, I'm not Ted Cruz. Sweet. Remember when people thought he was Ted Cruz? I thought he was Ted Cruz. I was like, what if he's Ted Cruz?
That would be cool if he was.
That would be cool. I would like Ted Cruz so much more.
Well.
Yes, I would.
Are working on a new project called Sun Bomb. Which Gunn asserts will have a heavy black metal influence. Okay,
but can I read the next part here?
I
think he's confused about what black metal is.
Does he know what black metal is?
I'm not sure where he's getting his black metal info yet. Maybe you just go on Spotify and listen to a couple of bands. Just start with Fenriz. You'll be fine there. I love black metal. I love black metal more than I love a lot of other things. This guy's just very confused. Because black metal is a certain element of Randy Rhoads?
Randy Rhoads?
In that people might not really identify in that. Yes, you're right. But I always have. There's a lot of black did you know Randy Rhoads invented black metal? Did you know that? You
Sorry, Corthon.
It's amazing. Yeah,
it was Randy Rhoads.
Yeah, sorry, Bathory. Sorry, there's something about the double pick because they double pick. That is an element.
He's got a few technical terms here.
Black metal.
Double picking and the way the chords are structured. He said chords. He knows what he's talking about.
This is a very interesting theory, Tracy Guns. I want you to maybe...
And the weight of the music.
And apparently you have a Michael Sweet.
I wish he'd said what his favorite black metal band was.
Yeah.
I want to know. Because, there's been a lot happen in the genre.
Uh-huh. Tell us what your favorite black metal is.
Does he listen to Behemoth?
Tracy Guns, comment down below.
Is that what he's listening to?
He listens to Gorgoroth. Satan. That's what he listens to. He listens to Burzum. His favorite band is Burzum. Burzum is more like atmospheric, but it's not even black metal.
We don't have a comment from Michael Stryper or Michael Sweet.
Michael Stryper
about what black metal he likes or if he likes black metal.
But he's religious, obviously. We know, he's obviously a Christian rock. So
yes, so maybe they're going to make white metal.
yeah, there's such a thing. Look it up.
Well, we should do an expose on white metal.
Yeah. What is white metal? And we don't mean like white power metal.
I mean, maybe it is.
Maybe it is.
No, but I think white metal is supposed to have a Christian element.
White National Socialist.
NSBM is more pagan. It's more into pagan shit.
Yeah. It's not. It's a different thing. It's a different.
So, apparently, Tracy Guns is not a Christian. He goes on to say that him and Michael Sweet are at odds on this, but they're putting their differences aside to work on Sunbomb, their black metal album.
I imagine Michael, the Crazy Jones is kind of a deviant.
I don't know anything about LA Guns.
So. Being that he grew up in that Sunset Strip whiskey go-go, he's probably a deviant.
He's like a glam rock guy. Right?
Yeah, he's a hair metal,
hair metal.
But more of that like dirty kind of like LA Strip hair metal guy, like not as like clean, not as like Shiny's Poison, like more like Motley Crue sort of style, more like Guns N' Roses kind of style, early Guns N' Roses kind of style, like that kind of LA, real scumbag kind of. But either way, he's a deviant. And
well, Michael Sweet is deigning to work with him.
Yes.
And strange. Get hyped.
This is odd. I want to see what the outcome, what the result of your black metal.
I want to hear this Randy Rhoads of black metal.
Your interpretation of black metal. I want to see, and will it be Kvult? That is the question.
These guys can't be Kvult.
Will it be true?
These guys are not true.
With a V. Cult and true, both spelled with a V. Kvult. True.
If you talk about it, you're not cult.
If you talk about it. If you talk about Fight Club. Okay. So, yeah, that's, I didn't think this article would be interesting, but it is.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, because they have a strange concept of what black metal is. Okay.
Sunbomb.
Sunbomb.
Get ready.
We will do an album review on Sunbomb.
100%.
Absolutely. We're waiting for you, Sunbomb. Make it happen. Okay. This is important.
More important new music. Very important, actually.
Being that the world is a different place and it has ended as we know it, Hank Sherman has, since we're not going to see Merciful Fate ever, Hank Sherman has written 6 or 7 new songs for a Merciful Fate album.
Ta-da.
There hasn't been a Merciful Fate album since 1999, the last century. It wasn't very good.
They skipped 2 decades.
Nevertheless, it wasn't good, but who cares? This one will be.
You think so?
Because they're gonna relive. Because everyone's doing that. Like a band like Merciful Fate isn't gonna try to make something new, are they? Like Iron Maiden does.
I'll be honest. I haven't listened to the 1999 album, so maybe I tried. I don't think they were trying to reinvent the genre or anything.
After the first few,
a little creatively bankrupt, I'd say.
Yeah.
More.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as King Diamond at that point. The early 90s, like Time album, whatever, that's okay. They're okay. I kind of grew up on those though. They're kind of burnt into me. But so last August it was announced that Merciful Fate would reunite with an unspecified number of concerts through Europe and North America, including Psycho.
We were gonna see him,
which we bought Psycho tickets pretty much for. And like once again, I say the irony is I used to see Merciful Fate on small stages, and now we were planning on going all the way to Las Vegas on a giant stage to see them. Time changes. More boomer talk. She's like whatever.
Well, I would find it interesting if I hadn't heard that story 100
times, and I will tell it 100 more times.
The time you saw King Diamond in Merciful Fate.
Merciful Fate, and not really. I've never seen.
Well, King Diamond was in the band.
Yeah,
and he was scared of people.
Yes,
that's the ending.
People were lunging at him, and he was kind of like, "Ah."
He wasn't into it.
Yeah, because there was no security. It was just very.
Coming back to Europe.
The state. Okay, so speaking about coronavirus crisis, affecting Merciful Fate's tour bench, Hank Sherman told Australia's Heavy. Knocked out all of our shows for 2020, and I predict as it looks for now, Merciful Fate shows will be canceled forever. Asked if using coronavirus downtime to work on new music, Sherman said, first of all, King Diamond in Texas, is living in Texas, and I'm here at Copenhagen, and drummer Bjorn T. Holm is also here, and we're working in a rehearsal room shaping new songs. The other guy, Mike Weed, is in Sweden. And Joey Vera on bass from Los Angeles. Joey Vera, of course, I saw him playing for, why did I forget that band's name again?
Face Warning.
Fate's Warning. I looked it up and I forgot it again.
You told me it's okay.
Yes, I saw it. You remembered it because I can't remember things. I saw him playing with Fate's Warning. He's played for a lot of bands, I think. He's kind of one of those session...
Gets around.
Yeah, he's one of those session guys. You know him by his mohawk.
So, yeah.
He's got a very broy mohawk. But
old school band Merciful Fate is doing it modern with the Dropbox and emails method of making an album.
Okay.
But yes, he went on to say that
they're literally phoning it in.
They've got all the tracks laid down. They sent it to King to evaluate for vocals.
Send it to King,
and he's gonna put his little mark on it.
Yeah, they're literally phoning it in. Literally,
it's not even phone.
There's no other choice.
Email.
Yeah, they're emailing it in.
But yeah. I really enjoy hearing this news. I have no idea if this album will be good.
Wait, is it Michael Denner is not with him? He's the other original founding guitarist. Michael Denner and Hank Sherman.
I think he had a solo album last
year. Yeah, we talked about that, right? He had a solo.
We didn't really talk about it, but I tried listening to it.
He's like the KK Downing of Merciful Fate. You know, he's like estranged, right?
Yeah, it was very Uriah Heep.
Oh yeah, that's right. We listened to that. It's very Uriah Heep.
And you were like, "What are you listening to?" It's very Uriah Heep.
Yeah, and
well, it's the guitar.
It's funny because King Diamond's also a huge Uriah Heep fan.
Well, I'm sure they all are.
That's his favorite. Oh yeah, you could hear it. Absolutely.
But I think this is a good sign, mainly in that they will, do all the live shows that they were planning to do, and not being like, "Oh, well, our shit got canceled, so we'll just forget about the whole playing live."
Yeah.
Whenever concerts happen again.
They'll
make an album and they'll support it a little bit.
Can Merciful Fate just give us a live broadcast? Just do that for us this year. Just do it for us.
I guess so.
We were so many people were so excited to see Merciful Fate, and
I'm telling you, this is what caused everything.
Yeah, Merciful Fate getting back together.
Merciful Fate.
And that's it.
And God struck everything down.
He's like, nope.
He was like, I've stood up to a lot of Satan worship, but this is it.
You guys, King Diamond, that guy, he's done.
He's too powerful with Merciful Fate.
Yes, he was hanging out with Anton LaVey back in the day.
He can only be in his band, his solo band. He may not reform. Okay.
Yes. I think, obviously, to mention here, Metallica obviously did a lot of their songs in Garage Inc., and I think that kind of put them into the... that might have really put Merciful Fate into the real mainstream.
When was that?
In the late 90s.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, Metallica didn't do a bad job on those songs. They did sort of
I'm just
medley.
saying, it's I don't know, it's not like they came together again after that.
No,
though it's a long time ago.
King Diamond performed on stage with him a couple of times. So he had Lars, being Danes, he's like, oh yeah, you want to come on stage? Yeah, I want to, yeah. So they came, it's just funny hearing James Hetfield, corpse without a soul, yeah. It's funny, but you gotta listen to it. Listen to it for your enjoyment. Listen to it, okay? Your old picture of there you are, Hank Sherman and Michael Denner right there, Kim Peterson and that bass player that recently passed away. His name escapes me, but yeah. Always awesome. Merciful Fate's first 2 albums. Always just great. Always never fails. Just timeless. Okay. What do we got here? This is silly.
We don't know how true this is yet.
Yeah, what if it's fake?
To be fair.
Yeah, what if it's fake?
But a brand of vodka, a British brand, published on their Instagram that Tobias Forge is suing them.
Since when do the British make vodka?
And their name is Ghost Vodka, and they have a skull logo.
Uh-oh, can't have that.
So clearly, they're ripping off Ghost.
Because Ghost has all, they have all rights on skulls and ghosts.
If you scroll down, you can see their post. They made a meme. Scroll. So Tobias Forge here is a Karen.
Yes.
And he wants to speak with the manager.
I want to speak with the man. Yeah, okay. So Tobias Forge, as a guy that was sued for your name, that had to change, Ghost AD. We had used Ghost AD when you released your second album. I remember that. And then you got to change it back because, what was he, a rapper or something? It was just, I don't know.
I don't know.
But,
I don't.
And now you're going to, people making vodka because it has a skull on it. What is that fuck does it have to do with your fucking stupid band?
Well, we have not had confirmation from the Ghost camp that this lawsuit is real. I feel like this would be a rather bold claim to completely fabricate. So I'm sure there's something there. Maybe they received, maybe not a lawsuit, but maybe a more tame cease and desist. Or I don't know. But I did like that they refer to him as Tobias Forge, which I guess is his more. We've got another name I've never heard.
Oh,
the
is that
Fitta portion?
Oh, he's got a Fitta in there now. Is that his?
Yes.
Maybe he's
if you look on the
that.
post, you can see that. So I feel like that's them hinting, like, oh, we got a legal letter with his full name.
He's slowly becoming or he's slowly becoming Michael Jackson or Prince or something like that.
I don't know. I feel like because Tobias Forge, like, that doesn't scream Swedish to me.
Yeah.
It could be anything. Tobias is like, you find Americans named Tobias. You certainly find British people named Tobias.
Forge is
and Forge is like an English word. So Fitta, maybe that's something he hides to appear more international.
Fitta.
But yeah, I think this is maybe there's some truth to this. He recently he's been winning all his legal battles. He's had a number of them.
Got a good legal team.
He fought his ex-ghouls over rights.
Yes, after he screwed them, then he screwed them again.
And they I remember them appealing their decision on the basis that Tobias is a Freemason and the judge was also a Freemason.
Oh, right.
Remember that?
Oh my God. I forgot about that. That explains everything. Don't listen to these people. They're fucking with your brain.
Who's they? Oh, ghosts?
They, yes.
They're definitely
there's
doing
mind
something.
Control here.
This is a psyop by the Freemasons.
I completely forgot about that. That's seriously significant, okay?
Yeah.
That's significant. That's not just some little thing to pass.
Here they are trying to control the vodka market.
Yeah.
International vodka market.
Some people are saying because it has that skull, it kind of looks like the makeup. It does not.
Well, yeah, they've got a little picture there.
It looks more like Jason Voorhees as a skull or something. It looks like a hockey mask almost. I don't know.
But, I mean, they have the name Ghost and a skull. What kind of coincidence is that?
Oh, my God. He's clearly copying off us. Like, clearly you have a skull and Ghost and they're selling vodka in our name.
All right. Well.
That's ridiculous. That's. You remember when, like, I don't know if this was true, but back in the day, people were saying Malcolm X wanted to copyright the or trademark the X.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it was true. It might have been just people going crazy. They're like, look what he's doing now. Look what that black guy's doing now. Yeah, because the movie he had the Malcolm X movie and the symbol was X. So some people were saying he was trying to trademark the X. It's you can't trademark a letter, bro. Yeah, I don't know if that was true. If he was, it is ridiculous. You can't trademark a letter, obviously. But this is just reminds me of just ridiculousness like that. If that were true, you can't. It's just he's not going to win. Well, then again, we're free. Masonry dictates.
We're going to step in here.
Yes, there's weirder, crazier things have happened.
BC vodka.
Presidents have been assassinated. Crusades have been launched. Holy lands have been conquered.
All right.
Okay, what's this? Ultimate Metal Bro, Phil Labonte, compares Metallica to Nickelback, and the internet loses its shit. Why? Being Phil Labonte is, from the band All That Remains.
Never listened to them.
And they are not. They're like WSIU kind of music, I guess.
I assume
they'd be played after Trivium, I think. They're more bro-y than Trivium because this guy is definitely more like bro. Like he could beat up the guy from Trivium. Let's face it.
I mean, that image is really all we need. Yeah. He's definitely like
the Eagle Bro.
He's definitely like a chud.
Yeah, he's like America.
He's
a libertarian, by the way. He's a Ron Paul supporter. He's not a Trump supporter, but that has its ways of going wrong too.
All right, well, he's not here to do his regular trolly shit because this guy has kind of got a name for being a troll.
Yes.
Gets the metal sex guys riled up for sure.
Yes.
Here he's making some, nuanced musical critique.
Was kind of being technical about it.
He had something to say.
Like if someone said Metallica Load is like Nickelback, I'd be like, yeah, it's fair.
But his main point was that Load era Metallica and Nickelback are extremely sonically similar. So similar that you could, sub in one song for another and they would fit.
I won't go that far with it. I mean, the idea of the commercialism but the Metallica songs are more dynamic. I mean, Nickelback. I've tried to listen to a Nickelback album before, and it was just.
I have to admit, I haven't.
Doesn't. It's like the sonic version of Waterworld. Or like
that sounds awesome.
or like Battlefield Earth. It's like that. It makes you feel. Do you ever watch Waterworld? The way that movie makes you feel. That's how Nickelback makes.
I was a child when I saw Waterworld.
Which is terrible. That's traumatic. But maybe it would stick to a youth better. I don't know, than a grown up. But like the way that movie makes me feel, that sense of just like drains everything out of you for no reason. Like you just feel like you just lost. You're losing your life. Like the movie just doesn't excite you, but like, and you don't. You're like, why am I watching? Like this just doesn't. Like, you know, when you watch a bad movie, it's funny. It's like, oh, this is so bad. Like The Room, you watch The Room. It's like, oh, this is so bad. Or like Birdemic, it's like, this is so bad. But no, like it's so bad, it just doesn't have any irony, and doesn't. You can't even call it like the worst movie ever because it just doesn't.
Your cameras.
Oh my God, camera off. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's weird. Oh, stand by. Got a little. Stand by. Let me just do that. Okay. Sorry about that, people. Yeah. But he's being all technical about it. Like he's like sonically and just frequency wise. It's actually, you can actually.
I have put a lot of thought into this.
This is bro science. This is bro science.
This is the most he's ever thought about anything.
Yeah, he's thinking a lot about this. You know, this, by the way, this guy filled in for Ivan Moody in Five Finger Death Punch. It's that kind of music, okay?
Okay.
He's one of those guys. Like, bro, okay, Metallica's load is just like, you know, Nickelback could absolutely do Fuel, you know, bro. It's the same song. Okay, so obviously the internet didn't like it, but you know, he has a point that they're both kind of just like in the same kind of basket, I suppose. Metallica was a lot like Nickelback, and I think they toured with Nickelback around that era. So
that sounds about right.
Yeah, so his theory has merit. It's just he's just getting a little bit too into it. You know, he's got like the blackboard up. He's got all the rubber bands connecting the, you know, like the things that he gets.
Seems like most of the haters are more just making fun of All That Remains. Like, how dare you have an opinion on Metallica?
Yeah.
After All That Remains.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's he's coming from a legitimate place. It's just, you know, you no one thought this much into it. Okay?
You could tell also from the way he said it, like he was really proud of this opinion.
Yeah,
like,
he's like, I figured out something.
Like, I have a real insight here, and I want to share it with everybody.
I just got a theory.
And I'm sure he told some of his bros in real life, and they're like, oh, man,
he was
right.
Like,
you're right. And
yeah, he was in his house one day. I don't know if he was like smoking. I don't know if this guy smokes weed. I can't. And he was just like listening to Metallica, and he's listening to Nickelback because he likes both of them. And he was just like, bro, they're the same. It's like, you know, whoever figured out like Pink Floyd lines up with Wizard of Oz. What is that?
Scroll down.
What is that? Oh, what do we got? What do we got here? I didn't even bother scrolling down. Somebody. Oh, that's Lars. Yeah, I mean, I call him Lars. Kirk just.
It's the Kirk no face.
Kirk apparently. Is like wah 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 wah. That's what he's saying.
Kirk says no.
Don't mess with Kirk's wah wah.
Not that I want to enshrine Load era Metallica, but no. I guess we have some.
Though
there's some boundaries.
They're catchy. The first one, Load 2 is just like what the fuck. But Load 1 has some good songs. It's a bluesy blues daddy metal album, but it's not metal in any way. But it's MTV. It's like Nickelback, but definitely better than Nickelback. Like you don't feel like empty after you listen to it. Like, oh, that was a catchy song. Nickelback
make you feel empty?
Yes, it does. It's everything about them.
What about a photograph?
That's funny. That's a little bit more like The Room. That song.
You know who Nickelback's better than?
Who?
Trapped.
Yeah, and Trapped hasn't done anything this week. Trapped guy, get on it, fight.
I'm sure he's been doing stuff, but it's not interesting anymore.
Can you start a fight with me, maybe? Please?
You have to start a fight with him.
I'll start a fight
with him. It's easy. Don't worry.
I'm going to start a fight with him.
You want the Twitter?
Yes, we'll do it after this.
Oh.
I'm going to start a fight with, though there's probably a lot of idiots like me going, I'm going to start a fight with him, and I'll get noticed, and I'll go viral. No one cares.
No, you don't go viral anymore.
No one cares.
Maybe you'll get like 20 people to like your
like,
tweet.
okay. Yeah, no one's going to hate you.
It's too late.
But
you need to be on the ground floor.
Yeah, you need to be on the ground floor. It's like buying a stock now. So, okay, well, maybe not. Anyway, so, finally, in some deep, weird conspiracy theory news, I got the papers right here now. We got proof that Scorpions Klaus Minor denies window change written by the CIA. It is a CIA black op. I have the papers right here. Okay.
Now, to preface this is all coming up because the opposite of Alex Jones, a very corporate, slickly produced podcast called Wind of Change, put out by this like investigative reporter that writes for the New Yorker.
Yeah, one of those like NPR kind of guys.
It's a very NPR voice podcast.
Hello, we have a podcast down there.
You can't even do that. You can't even do this. You can't even do the voice.
The voice kind of goes like this, doesn't it?
It's not nerdy enough. Your voice is too low.
Maybe we have
That's too nerdy.
Yeah, I can't do it. I have to do more research on that.
You should work on that impression.
I'm going to be the NPR
I hate
guy.
that voice, though.
I'm going to do the whole podcast in the NPR voice once I learn it.
So, this is the kind of guy who did this is the exact opposite of Alex Jones. He was talking about how he was living in D.C. and he has a friend who, was like a contractor for the U.S. government or something. And the real story is that he, someone who works as a recruiter for ex-CIA spies, helped them to get jobs when they're the kind of spies you can't even say they worked for the CIA. So they have these fake resumes.
Right.
So he helps them get jobs when they leave the CIA.
Right, because it's so deep they can't even put that on their resume.
Yes, where they're not allowed to say.
So like Pete Buttigieg and stuff like that, and things like they like had that and they had to get their thing. Yeah.
Okay. So, and he, I guess, leaked to this journalist the idea that Wind of Change, the iconic Scorpions ballad,
it brought down the wall along with Rocky IV,
was a CIA psyop written by the CIA for the purpose of,
bringing down the wall,
propaganda,
bringing down the wall,
defeating communism,
the wall. Take me to the beginning of the moment of the every night and the children of tomorrow.
I tried to listen to this podcast.
Yeah, it was bad.
I had to stop because it became glaringly obvious
that there was a hoax.
That if this psyop is true, this podcast itself is a psyop of the psyop.
That's crazy. I got the papers
just
right here.
Like how they released those UFO pictures, and that was probably a psyop.
Misdirection.
It's misdirection.
I got the papers right here.
The CIA is behind this as well.
Now the CIA.
This podcast is not. It's the opposite of Alex Jones.
Wow, would the U.S. Navy release pictures of UFOs coincidentally during a worldwide pandemic? I mean.
Exactly. And now we have another thing here. But also, this thing reinforces the CIA's power, and it's like the CIA is so insidious that it's infecting everything, and it's coming at you from all angles.
Yes.
It has songwriters. CIA has songwriters.
Yes, they are writing.
And they're writing good songs.
In 1989.
Also, I couldn't listen to the podcast because I couldn't listen to the NPR voice. Just kind of like doing that like very dry, making fun of the Scorpions.
Can you try to do the NPR voice?
No, I can't do I'm not the impressions person.
I'm going to look it up.
It's like Terry Gross.
Yeah.
And or you should listen to the podcast. You should listen to a bit of Wind of Change.
Yeah, I'll listen to it.
And it's perfect. There you go. But
I didn't think I should go that deep into this.
I couldn't listen to this guy, this very smug guy talking about the Scorpions and like these guys aren't a young band. I went to a show in the Ukraine. And they had all these crazy Europeans there, and they were all so excited to see Scorpions. And I was like, why do you like them? And they were all like, oh, hurricane.
You're right, rock you like hurricane.
It's just like making fun of these people and making fun of Scorpions.
He's an elitist. He thinks he's better than them.
Oh, yes. Okay.
He's like, look at these metal boomers.
He calls them ridiculous.
You want to see ridiculous? You want to see ridiculous, mister? You go to an Insane Clown Posse show. Or you go to a Nickelback show. Or you go to whatever that fucking Phil Labonte band was. You go to that show, right? That's ridiculous. I'll show you ridiculous. Okay, so they interviewed on that podcast. They interviewed.
Yes, he talked to Scorpions.
Yeah, he actually got.
He's got all the access.
Klaus Minor. So obviously he's a powerful guy. He's not some guy like me trying to like.
No, he's got a book. That's the thing. It's like it's a conspiracy theory coming from this establishment guy, It's
right.
like
You think the whole thing would be a joke, but it's clearly not. Like, it's going to be like some sort of ironic just... Cause sometimes I'll make these podcasts. Like, I've listened to podcasts that were big productions. One of them was about, like, where did Richard Simmons go? And spoiler alert, they found Richard Simmons. He was just hiding in his house. He didn't want to fucking talk to anyone. He didn't want to deal with you fucking fat asses anymore. And there was another one that did this thing on how some guy wrote this book that was a sequel to Rocky IV. And they tried to, like pin him as this, like, big ghostwriter that, like, you know, wrote all these masterpieces. But, like, he was, like, this unknown writer, and they couldn't find him, and it turned out it was just a big hoax. And it turns out the guy making the podcast was onto the joke the whole time. Like, it's just shit like that. That's what I thought maybe something like this was. It was just, like, a joke.
No, it's very serious.
They're serious about this. They're like, really trying to do some investigative reporting.
Yes. The moment I stopped listening was when you mentioned that one of the Pod Save guys produced it.
Yeah, those guys.
That's enough.
You know where it comes. You know what it is. You know how it is with them. So here's a little extra. In the middle of the interview, they asked Klaus Meine, Klaus, you ever heard a story that Wind of Change was written by the CIA? They asked him this out of kind of nowhere, I guess. And I cracked up laughing. I totally cracked up laughing. I said to him, so my friend, you think you make interview as songwriter, or you think you make interview as spy? This is like English second language stuff, I guess. You make interview? You know?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's funny. Just hearing Klaus. I don't know. I imagine Klaus Meine talks like this. I don't really know how he talks.
That's another thing. Like he kept on talking about like, and it's weird that they sing in English. It's like every big international band sings in English. You fucking dolt. Like
Scorpions have been singing English since their early 70s.
He's like, and they're not even big in America, so they're mostly singing in English to people who don't even speak English. But those people don't speak German, you fucking idiot. So they're gonna sing in English. God,
made all their biggest hits in America. Scorpions have been around.
But he's talking about like now. He's saying like, oh, now.
Well, they're old man rock now. Like, you know, Scorpions has a huge just part in metal. Like, and obviously the Shanker brothers came from there. You know, like they have UFO. Like it's just a great band. Scorpions is a band that I never until recently understood was such an awesome band. Like my favorite, of course, are their Uli John Roth years, late 70s. Still, I think every music guy says, oh, I like your Uli John Roth, but it's true. The Uli John Roth years are the best.
But Klaus clearly in on the psyop, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, of
denies
course.
Everything.
Like when the CIA swears you to secrecy, you stay in secrecy. That was, even though this was like 1989 when they did this, 1988, 1989. Like he's still under the gun, literally. You know.
Yeah.
Like there's
but his official response.
Let's see. This one right here. I thought this was very amusing. Just got cracked up laughing. It's very entertaining. That was a really crazy story. But I said, it's not true at all. Like you American guys say, it is fake news. Like you say, that Trump says, the fake news. This is the fake news. Yeah. That's what he's going to say. That's what he's going to say.
So he obviously would deny it if it was true.
Of course. What would he be like? Oh, no. This is, yes, actually, they did. But it made us a lot of money either way. Like who would get the royalties? The song is still...
Yeah, CIA is not going to get the money.
Yeah. There's a funny cartoon they made. They made it using Mortal Kombat characters. Scorpions, the Scorpion Mortal Kombat character. It's a funny video. Look it up. Scorpion, Mortal Kombat.
What do you think of this?
Do you think
it's true?
Of course. It's true. I have the papers right here. Of course.
Do you really think it's true?
See right here, Black Ops. I don't know. No.
I wanted to listen to the whole podcast to get an opinion, but I couldn't physically listen to it.
Yeah.
And it's like 8 hours of content. And it's like, no.
Yeah. If you want to make up some fake story, then you at least make your podcast interesting. Unlike me.
It was interesting. It was just unbearable.
Yeah, it was like Waterworld, the podcast. It was like Nickelback of the podcast. Yeah.
I was like, I just overdosed on smugness listening to it. And
I gotta learn that voice because I'm gonna do the podcast in that voice.
No.
Well, this is an interesting story,
Oh yeah.
It says it was almost like one of those Netflix series.
We're getting
it really
a look behind the curtain here.
Yeah, it's the Iron Curtain, the former Iron Curtain, which this song helped open. This song and Rocky IV, in my own theory, helped bring down, and David Hasselhoff when he stood on top of the Berlin Wall, Came down.
Those are all psyops.
If we could change, you could change. We can all change. That's what Rocky said after he beat Ivan Drago. We could change. You could change. We can all change.
I mean, if the CIA wrote this, then they definitely wrote that.
They wrote Rocky 4 for sure. With the help of Sylvester Stallone. Because Sylvester Stallone, he's patriot. He's Rambo. Right? So, he wall, and David Hasselhoff as well. David Hasselhoff got on top of that wall. Look it up. Look up the footage. He got on top of that wall, and he was singing a song called Freedom. He was like, freedom, yeah, talking about freedom. And he was standing on top of the wall, the remains of this crumbling wall, in front of the German people, which he is also of German descent, and the German people love him, and he helped bring down that wall. And now we have something. We have East Germany. I don't know. East Germany's still a scary place, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah. Berlin. I wouldn't like to go to Berlin. It seems like a shitty place.
I haven't heard that.
This seems like a shitty,
You're casting aspersions.
It's not as nice as people think Europe is. I think it's the shittiest city in Europe.
I have not heard that.
Berlin.
I'm sure it's definitely not the shittiest city in Europe.
Yeah, maybe London's. I don't know. I heard it's
it's probably a smaller city that you wouldn't necessarily think of, like Zagreb or something.
Zagreb in Slovakia is that? In Hungary,
in Croatia,
Zagreb. Yes, the child. Yes, I am from Scorpions. He's from Zagreb.
All right, let's wrap it up.
That's all, people. What a good news show. We haven't done this in a while. Hopefully, we'll do them. It's not like we have anything else to do. We just, when you don't have anything else to do, then you do nothing. When you're kind of against the gun, then you're like, oh, shit, I have this much to do this pod. Then you'll do it, right?
Our time is unstructured. It's less structured.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still working from home, but
I'm not. But soon I'll be back. They'll
so maybe when you go in again.
Yeah, you'll be like against the gun, and you'll have like oh, I have to do this. Because right now I don't have to really do anything. And, when you don't, you don't. So, folks, thanks again for listening. Be sure to follow us on social media, including Twitter at hereliesmetal, Facebook at hereliesmetal, Instagram at metallieshere, and give me a shout out on Gmail, hereliesmetal@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right here on YouTube. And give this episode a thumbs up, or more likely a thumbs down, as you all like to do. Also, comment down below if you're upset with something that I said, which is very likely.
Trivium fans, All That Remains fans.
There's not any All That Remains fans.
I want to hear from you.
They don't watch. They wouldn't watch it. I don't know.
CIA operatives.
CIA ops. Anything like that. People that think Load is not. Whatever.
Load fans.
People that think Skull Vodka is... Ghost Vodka is at fault, is liable. Freemasons.
That's who we're calling out.
People that think the Meat Locker is a safe place, a great concert venue. Please
people
come.
Think we're too old for the Meat Locker.
Yeah, I am, and I'm worried about your safety. Shoot me for being. You remember that thing in Rhode Island that burnt down and killed 90 people?
No, they don't.
You want that to happen?
They don't remember that.
That was Great White, by the way.
That was before they were born.
Very shitty band. I'm not saying you deserve to catch on fire, though. That was a shitty band. I don't know why so many people would go to see Great White, and it turned out to be a disaster, literally. But I don't want to see that. I don't want to, years from now when everything's back. I don't want to go wake up one day and say, oh, terrible fire at the Meat Locker and 90 people are dead. I don't want to see that because that'd be bad. Okay. So anyway, be sure to subscribe. Hear Loud Metal on iTunes. Yeah, there's still episodes on iTunes. I haven't made any new ones, but it's still there. Stitcher and Google Play, and make sure to listen to our regular history episodes, which I just made 2 video versions of on the YouTube channel. But yeah, make sure to subscribe and hit that thumbs up, hit that bell thing that they do that tells you when there's new videos, right? So yeah, that's all for today. That's all the news for this week, for this news cycle. Hopefully we make another one next week. There's no reason for us not to. We like I said, we were in the new Here Lies Metal headquarters in a different part of New Jersey, still New Jersey.
Decorated.
Yeah, well, as you see, the background looks a lot more almost like we live in one of those paper houses. It kind of looks like we live in one of those condos, from the background. But we're gonna put some things in the background. I'm gonna put some soundproofing up. It might make it look a little bit more studio-like. But we gotta put you don't really have a lot of space behind you to see a poster, though. Maybe if you you'd have to maybe we could put something right back there, right? Comment down below. What should we put back there? Make us some art. Send it to us. Draw us a picture. We'll put it on a refrigerator. Okay, folks. Thank you for listening. And we'll see you again soon. Good night. Ending right at 1 hour and 30 minutes. Perfect.